Hi, Cancer. Welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your mid-May 2025 love reading. Thank you to those of you who have liked, viewed, shared, and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you new to the channel, as far as what me and friendless, it's what I call the bridge and the gap spread. And the way it works is a look at the past, present, future energies between you and the main love interest. We'll also pull some oracle cards to help with the bridge and the gap dynamic. As far as the decks being used, on the left side we have the Lover's Path Tarot, on the right side we have the Romantic Tarot. And also keep in mind it's a general reading, so I'm going to be referring to the cards on the left as your energy and the cards on the right as the other person's. If you feel it's the other way around in your situation, then definitely trust that. Alright, so with all that out of the way, we'll get started. Past energy on your side, we have fertility. This is the equivalent of the Empress in traditional tarot. And what I see with this could just say for the majority of you, you saw a lot of potential within this connection in the past. Even if you weren't necessarily playing it out in reality, I feel like you just saw this potential for this to be a connection that could go to the distance. But I feel like you were being more passive and receptive in the situation and not necessarily pursuing it directly. All right, past energy on your side, we have the Nine of Swords. So with the artwork here, I feel like it's more likely this person in the background. And if we look, it looks like they're looking at this couple, right? So to me, I feel like this is someone who more than likely just was wrapped up in doing their own thing. But I feel like they started to see signs around them. You know, maybe they started to see more couples, maybe even people that they interact with, like their friends or people they work with, were starting to get coupled up. And it made them start to reevaluate if they wanted to also move in that direction. Alright, present energy on your side, we have the Princess of Coins. So this is the equivalent of the Page of Pentacles, and if we look at the artwork, just the facial expression doesn't look all that optimistic. And then also if we look at the trees in the background, right, it looks like there's some loss of life on the leaves and everything. So to me, this is that you might just be holding on one hand to the possibility of the two of you becoming a couple, but I feel like you're also at the same time losing a little bit of faith as time goes on. Present energy on their side, we have the Nine of Pentacles. So another nine energy and almost a similar dynamic here as far as we see the one person looking toward a couple. We even see it looks like there's like beams of light pointing to them. So again, I feel like this is saying that this is more likely someone who's very independent, but I feel like everywhere they look, everywhere they turn now, they're seeing couples, right? And it's making them reevaluate if they want to stay on an independent path or if they'd like to move into a couple. All right, future energy on your side, we have Judgment. So this is a Scorpio energy, and usually could point to a situation coming back around. So for some of you, this could just possibly be you actually finally deciding to take action toward the connection. But for others of you, it could just be saying that they might finally come forward as well. I could see that playing out either way in the situation. I mean, given the way that their energies have been so far, it would seem on the one hand like it might be more likely to be you, but what I see in the future on their side, it could be them just as easily. And the reason why I say that is the future energy on their side, we have the Tower. So, Tower is definitely not a positive energy, but at the same time, if we look at the past and present, I feel like the Tower in this regard is going to be more of like a wake-up call for them, you know? Because like I said, it almost seems like they're sleepwalking through these signs and synchronicities they're getting that, hey, you know, maybe you're being shown all of this couple related stuff for a reason, right? And I feel like there's a part of them that would acknowledge that, but then another part of them that was resistant to it too. So this could just be one of those things where they finally get a wake-up call and they come to the realization like, okay, yeah, I need to get moving. All right, bottom of the deck on your side, we have the Four of Staves. So this is Aries energy here. And again, I feel like at the very least, I don't see this necessarily playing out in this reading in particular, but it does seem like you guys are at least thinking that there's that potential for this connection to become a solid, committed one. Bottom of the deck on their side, we have the Eight of Swords. So Gemini energy here. yeah, I feel like this is just saying that this is probably what's going on, where they might have gone through a bad breakup in the past, and maybe even multiple bad breakups, to where they might still be working through that, even if they're not consciously aware of it, to where it makes them really hesitant to jump into another connection. So that could be part of why they've been in that independent mode. But again, I feel like the universe is like trying to send them signs like, hey, you can't stay in that cycle forever. So that could just be what they're processing. And given that this is a Gemini energy, it could just be saying that as we move through the beginning of Gemini season, maybe toward the middle, they might finally come to that realization. We'll see what the Oracle cards have to mix. First, we'll see what we get from the Messages of Love Oracle card deck. I'm just going to give this a few shuffles. And I'm just going to put the deck down now. And what we'll do is I'll just cut the deck. And we'll take this card, get this out of the way. And now we'll do the same thing with the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. So I'll give this a few shuffles. All right. And now I'll put this deck down. And we'll do the same thing. I'll take this card here, get this out of the way. And we'll take a look at that Messages of Love card first. All right, we have stability. It says this relationship can stand the test of time. So yeah, at the very least, that could be the one positive, right? If someone who does move this slowly, is that when they finally do decide to move in that direction, there's at least a thought that, okay, they've clearly thought the situation through, right? They didn't just jump into it haphazardly, so that would be the one positive there. But again, like I said, it might take into some time into Gemini season before they finally get to that point, but that'll be here before we know it in a way. All right, and from the Wisdom of the Oracle, we have No Place Like Home. Here's the artwork. The number is 50. All right, the relationship message says lovers, friends, and companion animals are at home in your life right now. You are in sync and full of love, and you can be secure in the knowledge that it is reciprocated. Relationships elicit a sense of emotional safety, comfort, and the best aspects of familiarity now. Be home in this relationship. Together you add to the love of the world. So interesting there where it said companion animals, because in the fertility card in the past on your side, there's like every kind of animal in the book, right? So yeah, to me, it's a solid indicator that it's one of those things that I feel like there will be a lot of comfort within the connection, but like I said, it seems like this person's still working through some stuff. And like I said, in that regard, I feel like the tower is more of a positive because it'll finally snap them out of that cycle. So hopefully that resonates with you guys. We're up there, and I'll see you all next month. All right, bye.